Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Daily Genius, and I've just been told by Warren that I get my wish of having a fancy new intro starting right now. So, okay, MAPS is a mastermind group that formed out of another existing group that was formed by men who had basically created a mastermind together and an opportunity and an environment for, in this case, men to develop meaningful relationships with one another in order to further their development as fathers, brothers, leaders in their community, business owners, etc. So men's team is a community of men who are interested in basically being able to cultivate relationships with individuals and then have a space where they can be themselves and share their problems and challenges in a confidential environment and have the opportunity to work on their life and be called on their shit and be exposed to their own truth or challenged and provoked by individuals they trust to have their best interests in mind. So MAPS is a offshoot of that. MAPS is now a business mastermind that we have every Thursday morning, which was an offshoot of men's team. And so it is a space where basically there's a context that allows us to, one, just be honest, and then two, to be ourselves in responding to that honesty or that expression of that individual, and to be basically cared for, but not cared for in a way that's all about being supported. I find that I am often an observer of my own behavior at the same time other people are observing my behavior. The same way, that's true for, I think, everybody else. There's parts of our behaviors that we're predicting and consciously planning, and there's parts of our behaviors that we're surprised by, that we are questioning, that we're not sure why we chose it, or it contravenes something we previously said we wanted or committed to in some way.
I'm good, thanks.
Warren, this is... Like every time I do the same thing, if I go to a meeting and I do the whole Square stuff, because Square doesn't hit my accounting automatically like everything else in my company does. Right. I take the Square, I get the receipt, I email Jamie and I say, Jamie, do an invoice. It's a manual. You have to just manually manage that. If you're going to manually take money and manually approve an order that you need to manually account for later, you got to tell someone manually, please create an invoice for this.
You're going to create habits.
That's it. It's like every time I do this, this is the next thing that has to happen. That's just a process.
Yeah.
Like your objective as a business owner needs to be that your books are as current as possible. And the only way to do that is to keep the latency between transactions and reconciliations down as much as possible. Look at me for a second.
Me or him?
I can get your financial house in order. You should listen to me. There's this like function that goes on in life where it's like, I want to fire a ball off to somebody else knowing for certain the ball is going to be moved. Email is not an effective way of firing over a ball because there's no acknowledgement procedure, there's no automatic accountability procedure. How do I now hold someone accountable to an email that I've sent them? I can't assume they're going to hold themselves accountable is what I'm saying by email, right? So not only do you have to send her the email, but then you have to have your own internal routines that says once I've sent her these Square receipts, I'm going to on a weekly basis give her a call and make sure, hey, I sent you 2 Square receipts this week. I want to confirm that those made it into the accounting. Because it's not like she's in your basement, right? There's just nuances. But your objective should just be, I sold something, get it into the accounting. I owe somebody something. It shouldn't be, I need to remember this. It should be, I need to get this into the accounting. Mentorship happens when the mentor and the mentee are both in pursuit of a truth, something third party to them. It's not a praise reprimand cycle. It's not an infatuated or a fantasy based quest for the unachievable with repercussions and punishment and authoritarian systems to close loops. That's not mentorship. That's traditional predator-prey cycles.
If you have a better suggestion, I'm open to that, what that could look like.
Zoom.
But I have to get a Zoom.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready for that yet. I don't know.
Yes, you are. You can get a free trial.
Free trial?
Sign up, create a Zoom call, invite him to it, press record.
And it record both of us?
Yeah.
And you can choose which one you pick, or how does it?
You can manage it to some degree, yeah.
While I'm recording or
Yeah.
afterwards?
While you're recording. So it's either side by side or speaker view, which means who's not speaking is small and who is speaking is big. There's another word for brand. It's called reputation.
Okay, great. So
So is it going to be easier for you to build a reputation for your business, which is only you, which is then a lie?
a lie?
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. A business is only a business when there's other real people in it. Right? So a business cannot possibly have a reputation of its own. So here's an example. I have a business with like 9 people in it. My customers have a perception of me as a business, which is separate from me as a person, because they've interacted personally with Warren, with Everett, with Jennifer, with Jamie. I'm sitting here talking to Rene, and we're talking about Jamie. He's like, I know Alexander has a Jamie. And when you're talking to me about Jamie, is there a picture of Measurable Genius in your head?
No.
You're talking to me about Jamie, right? But can you see that,
Well, yeah,
there's a representation of a company in that communication to me?
For sure.
But if you had never met Jamie, never met Jen, never met Everett, never met Warren, never met John, never met Christine, if you had never met any of these people, he wouldn't have a picture in his head or a concept of I'm working with a business. He would only have a concept of I'm working with Alex. So in the mind of the customer, a business as an identity or a reputation emerges when they can take 2 people or 3 people or 4 people and put them all together in an identity. Okay, how about this? Mentorship is the art of facilitating the answering of a question. Okay? Mentorship occurs once a question exists. So there's an implication that someone is asking a question and that somewhere there's an answer. And that the asker knows the answer. And so the answer can only be true for the asker. If you and I ask the exact same question, what do you want for dinner? Your answer is right, and my answer is right. The question is the constant. Like, we're doing this video blog, right? It's the Daily Genius video blog. We had this conversation yesterday. Which channel are we going to deploy this content on? We're deploying it on Alexander Ford's YouTube and Facebook. I have a company with 9 people in it. We're still going to deploy my personal brand. We're not going to try to shove my customers into my business's marketing.
Because he's the face of the business.
Like, you want to know what your brand is? Hire a dude to follow you around with a camera for a week. It'll become pretty fucking clear.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to make anything up. I don't have to make up my catchphrases. I say them every 20 fucking minutes. I might not notice that I'm saying them, but I do, and he gets to fucking hear
Or
them.
even imagine that you've got a camera over your shoulder and just go about your daily life. What would the camera be seeing right now?
Do Facebook Live for 24/7.
That's what this is. See, you want to describe yourself. This is a really great lesson, what just happened here. You want to describe yourself using the word transformation, and he literally rejected it.
You're not a transformation guy.
Hold on.
You're a results guy.
Hold on, though. He identifies that way.
I know
So
that.
this is an opportunity. You can identify internally as delivering transformation. But when you ask what labels should I use, that isn't one of them.
Okay, got it.
Because give them the 4 labels again. These are the 4 things you should write down. Execution, accountability,
transparency,
and results. Does that make sense? So, mentorship isn't something to be given or necessarily received. Mentorship is the result of a question existing. And I can be mentored by all different types of things. I can be mentored directly by a human being right? I can also be mentored by my education, by my social feedback. I can be mentored by content. I can be mentored by books. I can be mentored by myself through my own disassembly or assembly of ideas. I can be mentored in a whole lot of different ways.
You cannot look too professional.
Right, Everett, and one of us has to.
And it ain't you.
Right.
Exactly.
Are you wearing dress shoes? Good. Perfect.
Wow.
Next time you see him, you're
Seriously, because I sell people on the idea that we're professional.
I know.
So, like, you are that bastion
Yeah.
of professionalism. We need, you know when you go to take your car back, they need to measure the tread of the tires?
Yeah.
And they take the little card and they stick it in, and if it's above the line, we're good?
Yeah.
We need one of those for your beard.
I need to get another trimmer.
If it is past this line, someone help me. I have a camera. Help me remember this. We're getting a beard length card that I can use to spot check Everett's beard length for professionalism. This is happening. It's going to be branded Measurable Genius official beard length measurement device. Today I think we're okay. I'm just eyeballing it though. I need something more precise.
Where's your fucking measurement device?
I'm waiting for it. Jamie or Jennifer, whoever's going to do this. The world is surprisingly fucking manual. It's almost like computers don't rob us of our ability to make decisions, and we actually have to continue doing that part of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would agree with
What a
that.
fucking thought. Well, you mean I can't automate out my entire existence?
So, I mean, it's fast-paced at work, learning new skills, getting better at it, being more confident every day, which is good.
Let's do this. Look at me for a sec. If you have any projects that we can get done and bill in like a day or less, email Everett. Everett, Everett, at measurablegenius.com. He would love to build you an 8-hour website, fix a computer in 2 hours, do 4 hours of video, film your live video event and do some editing. If you have any of that kind of stuff that would help him make me money and help him pay our bills, send him a message. He will love to send you an invoice. And we will love to do really great work. Okay, so maybe that's a more clear approach to it, is like, you're never missing mentorship in your life. The question is, are you recognizing the form of mentorship you're currently receiving? Do you have an appreciation for the form that exists? The form that existed at the table this morning was, in many cases, I was mentoring other men, but in mentoring those men, I'm mentoring me. Like, I'm seeing those ideas for the first time in answering a question. Or in answering a question, in many cases, they didn't even ask me, right? And furthermore, in watching my own content, I'm hearing those answers in a totally different way than I heard them when I was framing them from someone else's perspective. So even the same piece of mentorship, depending on my current state of being and my current perceived challenges or perceived opportunities, the current framework and variables in my life, the same mentorship could even be, how many times have you gone back and read the same book and learned something new? That's coming from an experience where this customer has gone through 7, 8, 9 people just like us before. And the fact is, there's nobody like us. There's nobody like us who is able to deliver on the projects and account management required to fucking pin down an entrepreneur, get clear on the meaning, get clear on what it is that needs to be done next, and then actually be able to action those things across multiple disciplines. The fact that I can take, in order to build a web page with a Facebook campaign, drive traffic to a landing page and acquire that traffic and captivate it with copy and video, I need to bring 5 different skill sets together, project manage those skill sets, and coordinate it in a way where all of it is done in a reasonable amount of time so that the project doesn't end up lagging and becoming irrelevant. That's the challenge facing business owners. And we solve that problem because we've brought all that in-house. This needs to make it into the video blog, because it's like, this doesn't happen for business owners. Show me a small business owner that doesn't fucking struggle with trying to get this person and this person and this person and this person and this person to work together to achieve the thing that nobody has fucking even defined yet. It doesn't happen, and we're able to do that, and I'm like over the moon about it. because we've transitioned in my life from me trying to build this thing that does that to I've built the thing that does that. Like this is, you know, we're at a place where this thing is gonna fucking go, and it's the perfect time for us to turn it into a TV show. This is the perfect time. There's drawbacks to that, obviously, for the audience or whatever it is we're creating this show for, because that you guys didn't get to see 17 years of fucking torture.
Saw this one, right, Kelly?
No.
I said you should print that off and post it on Ford's wall.
So yeah, that's cool. And the video blog is started. So we're in day 2. Day 1 just got published to Facebook, and so now I'm going to enter that stage where I neurosisly like just keep checking my Facebook over and over for like fucking likes and comments and excitement faces, angry faces. I don't really care. Sad faces if I make you cry. Just feedback. Okay, look at me. We're doing a quarterly planning session in September. It's happening. If there's 3 of you there, I don't care. If it's just Rene, that's fine too. We're going to take business owners and entrepreneurs through a quarterly planning process that's guaranteed to make changes in business. That's happening. Okay guys, so it's 3 o'clock. Warren's gonna go edit this episode because apparently we can produce a lot of content. I knew that we were a content machine. I didn't really have an appreciation for how much potential there was in producing content in my business. I espouse this idea that I'm really just repeating from other marketers that are much, much bigger than me, the giants that I choose to stand on the shoulders of. And their advice has been, listen, you're running a business, you must be relevant in the marketplace. The place to be relevant is video right now on social media, which will change, but right now is video on social media. So don't get hung up in the details. Don't worry about production value. Just get started producing content. So I've been doing that for the last several years. I'm sure you've seen some of my experiments if you've seen this content before. If not, you can go check out my YouTube channel or previous videos on Facebook. You can see I've tried a video blog, we've tried produced videos, we've done event launches, we've tried different stuff, particularly video for the last 4 years. And I got to the point in Measurable Genius where I said, this is happening and I'm just gonna do it. And so now we're doing it, and you know, this episode was about mentorship, and it was about a lot of the conversations that went down at this morning's meeting. So that's why at Measurable Genius, we espouse the value of, we embody incremental progress. Today's incremental progress, the one thing that I wanted in this video blog that wasn't in others, was a title, and so I'll get it. And if we do one new thing every day, 1% in this idea, 1% in this system, 1% in this technology, things will get better. And I'm not afraid of putting that evolution out there. I'm evolving every day in front of the people that I love most, in front of my team, in front of my customers, and really, quite frankly, you're no different. There is some degree of difference. You see this through a lens, you see this through this video product, and so you really get to see in part what you're edited to see, but how is that any different than the real life interactions you have with the people even that you consider closest to in your life? You see your snapshot of these people, and so in that way you guys got to see the snapshot of my morning meeting today. And future episodes will look in many ways a lot like this, but also they'll evolve, and you'll get to see different ideas over time and see deeper and deeper through that experience of time as we continue to produce different types of content and share different types of information through this cool platform called the Internet Information Superhighway. Closing thoughts for the day. Recognize and honor your mentors. Find a way to create a safe space or a comfortable space where you can be uncomfortable and trusted to process your ideas and provide value to others. And create a community of content production in your business, whether it looks like this or something else like producing a podcast. Those are the things that I worked on today. I hope that some of this content was valuable for you. As always, hit us up in the comments below this video. Please send us a message. Click my Facebook profile. Go look around at the other videos. Hit the like button on my page if you haven't seen this video before. And I invite you to come back tomorrow for Daily Genius episode number 3. And I have no idea what that will entail, but tomorrow we'll figure something out. Ciao for you later.